How is it going, YouTube? Reed here, back with another video. Today we're going to be doing a complete review over all of the combat stimulants in Escape from Tarkov. The lab's stimulants are essentially medical injectors that, when taken, boost a particular set of attributes or skills of your character, while also making your character suffer from a few side effects to keep the stimulants from not being too overpowered. Excluding morphine, which acts as just a simple painkiller, there are 6 stimulants in the game: SJ1 labs, SJ6 labs, ETG, Propidol, Adrenaline, and Agustin. You guys might pronounce those differently. Since there are 6, I'm going to be breaking them up into 3 sets of 2 or 3 pairs, each pair focusing on a certain set of attributes or kind of falling into the same category in terms of when you would want to take them. Now, while I could just open up the inspection tab and read verbatim what the objective facts are for each stimulant, which skills and attributes are boosted and suffer from side effects, instead, what I figured I'd do is first give the cost for each stimulant, and then not only give its objective data, the objective stats and facts that exist for that stimulant, but translate that to the scenario in which you would actually want to use each one of these stimulants. I feel like this might help some of the newer players feel more comfortable using the stimulants, as it'll give you a specific scenario as to which you should actually use them. So without any further ado, let's go ahead and hop into the first set of stimulants, which are going to focus on strength and stamina. Alright, so the first 2 stims that we're going to be taking a look at are going to be the SJ6 and the SJ1. I'll go ahead and pull up both of their inspection tabs next to each other so we can get a nice side-by-side view of the 2 of them. Starting with the SJ6 stimulant on the left, this stim is going to cost you right around 60 to 62,000 rubles depending on the market. Yeah, I know, quite a bit of money. Once taken, this stimulant is going to increase your max stamina by 50 points for 240 seconds, or 4 minutes. It is also going to increase your stamina recovery rate by 2.5 points of stamina per second for 240 seconds. Next up on the right is the SJ1. The SJ1 is going to cost you roughly 22,000 rubles. Once used, the SJ1 is going to increase your strength, endurance, and stress resistance skills by 25 points for 180 seconds, or 3 minutes. To give a better idea of what the SJ1 stim actually does when you use it, here I go ahead and show you what my current level strength and endurance skills are at. Strength 1, endurance 4. I'm going to go ahead and use the SJ1 stimulant here, and you're going to see that once I use it and go back into my inventory, because my strength skill actually leveled up, my total amount of weight that I can carry has now increased from 75 kilos to 80 kilos. To confirm that, I open up my skills here, and you can now see that their actual levels have increased. So that might give you a better idea of what the SJ1 actually does. So when do we exactly want to use these bad boys? Well, with the SJ6, it's a little bit more straightforward, since it's just pretty much a boost to our stamina. Anytime that we want to run or jump for an extended period of time, for example fleeing from an enemy, we could use the SJ6 to do so without having such a detrimental hit to our stamina. But do we really want to pop a 62,000 ruble stimulant every single time we're running away from a player? Not really. So this is where you have to weigh the pros and the cons and how much money you have in your stash to know if it's really worth it. The SJ1 is a bit more complex since there's a little bit more going on when you use it. The main takeaway for the SJ1 is that you can carry more weight after using it. If you're a player that has strength level 1, which is going to be the majority of the people watching this video, you're going to increase your total carrying capacity from 75 kilos to 80 kilos, and that 5 kilo difference is a pretty big deal. When your PMC is carrying more weight than his weight limit, he's drastically slowed down, unable to even walk correctly. Therefore, anytime you want to get out with a ton of juice, you can pop this thing, increase your total carrying capacity, and as long as you're not carrying more than the increased value that your character has now been brought to, say 80 kilograms, he's going to be able to walk and sprint properly and get to the extract. The SJ6 and SJ1 stimulants actually work really well when popping them at the same time together. Typically, if you're popping the SJ1 for the strength boost, it's because you're carrying a lot and need to get to the extract to get out with all the juice and loot. At this time, you can pop the SJ6 to have the boost of stamina so you can run for a longer duration while on the way to the extract. So hopefully this gives you guys an idea of when you would want to use these two stimulants. Alrighty, so next up we're going to be taking a look at Propadol and ETGC. I'm going to do the same thing, give you guys a side-by-side view so we can compare them. So Propadol is surprisingly cheap at only 13,200 rubles at the time of this video. Again, prices are always subject to change in the future. Now, while there's tons of different boosts and side effects going on when we take these, as seen by their inspection windows here, let's focus on the changes to our PMC that we really care about, the changes as to why we would actually want to take these stimulants. Propadol on the left is what I refer to as the slow regen stimulant, as it is going to regen 1 health point every second for 300 seconds. Now, ETG on the right side is what I refer to as the quick regen stimulant. This is going to cost you right around 34,000 rubles and is going to regen 6.5 health points per second for only 1 minute. Alright, so when do you want to use these guys? Propadol is really nice when you're trying to heal your character and you don't necessarily have time to spam your AI2 or your medkit a ton of times to start regenning health. Let's say you're low on HP, but it's late in the raid and you need to start heading to the extract. You could pop Propadol so you're healing while on the move. Your whole body will start regenning health points on your way to the extract, so in case you get into a really late fight while extracting, you'll have some extra HP that you can work with. Now, the ETG stimulant on the right is going to be a little bit more straightforward since it regens health quicker and acts over a shorter period of time. The best time to use the ETG stimulant is if you're in the middle of a fight but had to use your surgery kit to repair a blacked limb. Once you repair the blacked limb, the limb is going to be left at 1 out of some X number of health points. If you're in the middle of a fight, you don't necessarily want to pull out your Salua and bandage around your arm for a consecutive 6 seconds. You want your gun up, ready to fight the player that's about to push you. You can pop the ETG stimulant and regen that entire limb in just a matter of seconds and not have to worry about pulling out a Salua or an IFAK medkit to heal the limb. Alright, so the last two stims that remain are Adrenaline and Agustin. While I myself use the previous 4 stims quite a bit in my own experience playing Tarkov, I myself never use these two stimulants, so I went ahead and put them in their own little category, which I guess is other or do not use. While there's no other items in the game that are going to be able to boost your carrying capacity or regen your health points, these stims here are going to do things for you that are accomplished by other items in the game that are much cheaper, and we'll get into that and why that makes these stims pretty much obsolete. Now, Adrenaline is going to cost you around 18,000 rubles, and it's going to do a variety of different things, including acting as a painkiller and boosting your strength, endurance, and recoil control skills by 20 levels. The problem is all of this only lasts for 60 seconds, so there's really never an appropriate time to take Adrenaline because you really can't gauge when you're going to need to improve your recoil control skill, and in terms of strength and endurance, typically you need these things boosted for much longer periods of time, in which case you just take the SJ1 stim. I suppose you could take Adrenaline before fighting a player, as you would get a small boost of recoil control, making it easier to hit shots, and you would get a little bit of a pre-painkiller for going into that fight. It just seems like a stretch to me and not worth the 18,000 rubles. Now, Agustin, or Agustin on the right, is going to cost you just about 19,000 rubles, and its focus point is that it stops and prevents bleeds for 3 minutes, or 180 seconds. In my opinion, this stimulant is pretty much obsolete because bandages right now cost about 1,000 rubles, and you can use them in just 1 second. They have a 1 second animation time. So if you were really that concerned about bleeds in Tarkov, you would just bring a couple bandages with you for essentially free, and you would be able to stop as many bleeds as you wanted without breaking the bank. So I hope this video helped you guys gain a better understanding of the stimulants in Escape from Tarkov. While they are very expensive, I definitely think they're worth using. So while I wouldn't recommend going on the flea market and spending a fortune on them, if you do happen to loot some off labs or reserve, I would recommend keeping them and giving them a shot. Be sure to leave a like if you enjoyed the video, as well as a comment letting me know what you think, and subscribe for future guides that I'll have coming out soon. I'll leave a link to my Discord in the description box down below if you guys would like to contact me personally. Otherwise, guys, thanks for checking out the video today, and as always, I will see you in the next one. Take it easy. Easy. See you guys.